Hi everyone, it's Anna Wheaton from Nudge Nudge Ink. I posted a reel on Instagram and Facebook just recently showing this card, which is called a Joyfold card. And I got lots of questions asking me what it's called and the measurements and so on, so I thought I would do a video. This is a Joyfold card. I don't know why it's called a Joyfold card, but it is. And essentially what it is a main card which folds over to be half a front, and then a smaller card that folds the other way, which is essentially a backwards card because its fold is here. Right, so measurements can vary, but I'll just show you the measurements of this one by putting together one using the Gone Fishing suite. So Gone Fishing is in our annual catalogue. There is this stamp set, and then there are the matching dies, which if bought together as a bundle will give you 10% off. So it's a great way to save. And then there's also matching designer series paper. So I'll show you the patterns of it. In our regular designer series paper, we have 6 different designs, like so. Oh, I've put my fish upside down, but you get the idea. 6 different designs, 2 sheets of each, and then if you flip over, you've got your designs on the back as well, right? So you've got a bit of a nautical map. Often the designs on the back are ones that aren't too specific to the suite, so you could use those with other masculine cards, for example. And that one is your fishing net, but it could also be chicken wire. We've got some blue wood planks, and then this crisscross design. So that is also what I'm using. And then we've got here, these are the coordinating colours, although I'm missing one. Wild Wheat, Pecan Pie, Pebbled Path, Mossy Meadow, Misty Moonlight, Calypso Coral, and Boho Blue. So to get the structure of this card, we're going to start with an A4 piece. So I'm in Australia, so we're working in metric, and we want to cut that in half long ways. So at the 10.5 mark is half an A4, so that we end up with a piece that is 29.8 by 10.5. 10.5, 29.8. So 29.8 is the full length of A4. We're going to fold that in half to be our card base. And that gives us, so that is 1/4 of an A4, and that's going to be 14.8 by 10.5, all right? So go with the 14.8. We're then going to cut half of that front off. So half of 14.8 is going to be 7.4 here. So I'm lining up my fold here, chop that off. That's a piece of scrap to put into my scrap drawer, and I end up with that. Okay. Now I want my smaller card. So my smaller card, I have sometimes just pulled out a scrap of matching or coordinating cardstock, folded in half, and use that. But I'm giving you here some specific measurements, and I'll tell you how they work. So this piece is 22.6 by 7. And when I fold it in half, it becomes 11.3 by 7, and I'll explain why. Okay, if I actually work backwards to get this, so you can see if I sit that in the center of there, it's got an even border all the way around. So basically what I've done is I've taken off 3.5 centimeters off the 14.8. all right, so 3.5 centimeters off 14.8 is going to give me 11.3. So there's my ruler. So that ends up being 11.3 by 7. Right, so it's 3.5 centimeters narrower and 3.5 centimeters narrower that way. Alrighty, so that it's nice and even. Doesn't have to be, but it is. All right, now we're going to start building some pieces to it. So any layer that I do, like that, so this was 14.8 by 10.5, I just take off 0.5 centimeter. So this becomes 14.3 by 10. All right, I didn't invest, a lot of this is going to be covered, so don't get too attached to the pattern, but that's a really nice background. Just going to use my Tombow. I've nicked my knuckle there. It's got a little bit of a bloody knuckle. All right, so that's going to go there to give us a nice background. Like so. And then I'm going to have a piece of paper for the front here. So again, I've just taken off 0.5 centimeter off these measurements. All right, so I get a nice border. So this is 10 by 6.8. As I'm gluing, I'm looking around to see where I've put my seal. Maybe it doesn't matter. Okay. So you can see I've got the first part of my Joyfold. Then here is my other card. So I want to make sure, so my fold is here for my main, and so my fold is here for the smaller card. And see, you're going to cover up a lot of that. So if you're going to do a stamp background, for example, don't spend too much time stamping in the middle. You're just going to cover it. Now, when I'm going to put that on, I just am going to center it. All right, so I want the same. I can even close that. Good idea to use Tombow because I can slide a little bit. So see, I've got the same amount. And in this case, I've even got stripes I can line it up with. Same amount of border all the way around. So you can see the Joyfold coming together. Now, this is going to be where you are going to write. And it could be that on the front, you may even have some more designer series paper. You could even have some inside here, all right? But we're going to add 2 panels here. One for the front and one for the inside. These are 10.8 by 6.5. So I've got 2 of them. And you can see again, I've just gone down 0.5 centimeter on those. So for the inside one, I have used this die. So this is one of the dies in the Gone Fishing stamp set. So you can see it's got all this water impression that's going to emboss. And then you can see down here, that's a ridge. So it's very easy to flip it over and think that might be your cutting edge, but the ridge is your cutting edge, right? So what I did was I just had a strip of boho blue and I put that down the middle of it, ran it through my stamp cut and emboss machine, and I end up with that. Now, I'm not going to use that, but I'm going to keep that because it's got the nice wavy edge. And then you can see that this has got the beautiful embossing on it. And I'm going to add it to here. Now, it's good in this case that it's longer than this. And I'll show you why in a sec. I'm just going to add a bit of Tombow here. Stick that on. And I'm just making sure that that's flush with that end. And then I could have measured this to be the same length. And that's in fact what I did on this card. But if you have a look, you can see it's not quite long enough. I've got this tiniest sliver of Very Vanilla there and the tiniest sliver there. Now, I could have trimmed this, but I'd already stuck that on. My bad. Okay. Now I'm looking for scissors. I'm a bit of a sucker for scissors. see a nice pair for sale. That's going to go inside. So that's boho blue, one of my coordinating colours. A little bit of Tombow. Pop that inside. Then this is for my outside. Same size, remember, 10.8 by 6.5. And that's going to go on there. So I have oh, here it is. Thank you. A thank you. I'm going to grab wild wheat, which I like to call Wild Wheaton because that's my surname. And I'm going to pop it here. My thank you. And then I'm going to use my boho blue. And then there's this little wavy, that's no good, stamp image. Now for this, I'm going to ink up, stamp off. So it's a little bit lighter than if I were to go on there directly, because the thank you is the focus here. Whoop. So stamping off, or second generation stamping. Did I stamp that one off? Ooh. So even third generation is nice. Like so. And let's add that to the front. Oh, if only I would actually put my seal away. That's why I couldn't find it. And put that on the front. All right, so you can see coming together. Now, the other thing I like to do with the Joyfold is to have little surprises as you open it up. Now, the stamp set contains all sorts of images that are two-step stamps. All right, so see, these are all outlines. That one also. But then you've got a second stamp that you can put in there to colour it. So that goes in there. That goes in there. I'll show you how it works. I've got some ready, but already stamped, so that you don't have to watch me do them all. But I've got a suggestion for you. So here I have the little buoy, and then I'm going to use, I think I've used Mossy Meadow on that. Let me grab that. I just don't want to put it into a different colour. So I'm going to ink that up, and then what you want to do is line yourself up so that you've got your stamp, your second stamp, and then your eye line, so that you are directly above it. Now, I am not, because there's a camera in the way, so I'm doing my best. I'm slightly out of line with my eyesight. So a little bit off. Okay, let me try again. Don't know if you could hear those birds, but that's lorikeets going past. Oh, again, I'm a bit off. Now, I want to get it right. Maybe I'll get my face in it. I'm going to pull it off camera and do it that way. That'll be really embarrassing if I miss it. No, that's better. Okay, now if you find, so I stamped the outline and then the filler. If you find that doesn't work for you, don't give up. Just do it the other way around. Do your filler first and then your stamp. Because, and of course that doesn't help being on there. because sometimes, oh, look at that. Perfect. Okay, so what I've done is I've made a whole bunch of these already. I'm not going to use that one, as fantastic as it is. So all of these I've stamped with the outline and the filler, and then I can add them to my card. I die cut them as well. Okay, so let's just keep going. So I've added these using, they're stamped on Very Vanilla, because that's what the color is in behind there, okay? That's what the color is there. So if you were to do them in white, they would look out of place, okay? It's so usually the base color is listed on the coordinating colors on the pack of DSP. All right, one of these. I live on the Gold Coast, which is a seaside place, but I am not really up with all the fishing things. I do know well enough that those are hooks on the bottom of these, so therefore they must hang this way. I'll actually tuck that one under there, I think. Okay, so as we open the card, we're going to discover bits and pieces. There are some elements too in the dies that will just cut out and emboss. So they don't actually go around a particular stamp, but I'll give you an example. I'm not sure if I've put that together correctly. I need to look up a picture, but see that one I've just cut out of silver, and the same with that one. And there's a few little sinkers, I think those are, from my memories of childhood throwing a line in the water. Now, so you can see we uncover that and uncover those, and I think you could put a piece of DSP, you could put a more vanilla, Very Vanilla for more of a message, but I'm just going to add maybe that one. You could stamp something, up to you. Okay, so there you have it. Not quite, because that's just sticking out a little bit too much for my liking. I want it hidden. There we go. Okay, so there we have my Joyfold card, which opens like that, and then like that. I need to add more to this one, don't I? It looks plain now. I hope that's been helpful for you. I'll put some details into the description about measurements, and also details about where you can buy the product. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I am trying to build up my little video library. And I'll just pop that one there as well as an example using that little tackle box frame. Thank you, as always, for watching. Bye.